Can y'all subpoena the cameras?
You can do whatever you want. You're going from here to here to here to here to here. Listen to what I'm saying and focus on this in the now. Don't start thinking of something in the future or something because you're not listening to what's happening now. An example, I got pulled over months ago. I know I was in the right, but the officer came up and he goes, "Why did you stop? Why didn't you stop at that stop sign?" I know I stopped. May have been for a second or two. I told the officer, "Listen."
Invoke my constitutional and amendment rights as well as my civil and civil rights.
Computer remains silent. Yes, sir. No, sir. Okay.
Is there a problem?
I honestly feel threatened by this courtroom.
And this is not the circus. This is not a playroom. This is a court.
I'm very coherent and competent.
No one says you were incompetent, but you have bond conditions that you're supposed to live up to. And we've given you so much as we've also given you a lawyer, and you're supposed to treat everyone here with respect. And when you don't, there's serious consequences.
What? Is there a thing for self-representation? I know that is a third option as well.
Of course you can represent yourself. You can do open heart surgery on yourself too?
Well, I ask for fair representation in a speedy trial.
No one here does anything to hurt anyone. The only thing that we're concerned about here is public.
In a Harris County courtroom, tension ignites instantly. A woman demands, "Can y'all subpoena the cameras?" But the judge, commanding and unfazed, redirects her like a laser. "Focus on this moment," she says. "You're bouncing from point to point and not listening." The courtroom stiffens. The woman veers off track, citing old traffic stops, constitutional rights, and civil liberties. But this isn't a debate stage, it's a courtroom. And in this courtroom, the judge doesn't entertain chaos. She demands order. She demands focus. And as the woman spirals, the air grows thick with defiance.
Safety, and that everybody gets treated fairly and with respect. That includes
life and safety against Harris County.
I don't know what to tell you about there, but you need to take that with whoever you feel threatened by. But
Harris County.
Here, we need to protect everybody in Harris County.
Me and my children.
We've given you a lawyer. I want you to treat him with respect. And I want you to treat our clerks with respect, our bailiffs, and us. I'm not asking for much. The only condition I put on you now is to not go back to the location where you were allegedly trespassed from. They don't want you there. So that's why I'm telling you now, don't go back. That's the only condition that we have.
In regards to my housing, which is my documentation right here, that should be submitted into my file. My stuff is supposed to be terminated on the 30th of this month, which
The defendant tries to pivot. She claims her rights are being violated, but the judge pushes back with clarity. Bond conditions have been set and respect isn't optional. She reminds the woman that a lawyer has been appointed, and all that's asked in return is basic courtroom respect. When the woman asks if she can represent herself, the judge cuts in sharply. "You're gonna perform open heart surgery on yourself too? It's not a joke. It's a warning dressed in sarcasm. I meant to pierce through the fog of entitlement and demand accountability."
Couple calls to actually go and speak with Gary Baxter in regards to my housing contract. I also emailed informal hearing before November the 1st and haven't got a response back. So I had every reason to be at Houston Housing Authority.
You may have had a right to be there, but at some point, they're well within their right to say, "Look, we don't want you here anymore. You are creating a disturbance, so we would like you to leave."
Can y'all subpoena the cameras?
You can do whatever you want. You're going from here to here to here to here to here. Listen to what I'm saying and focus on this in the now. Don't start thinking of something in the future or something because you're not listening to what's happening now. You may have had a right to be there, but at some point you lost that because of the way you may have treated everyone, and they didn't want you there anymore.
Then, the courtroom takes a turn. The woman brings up the Houston Housing Authority, accusing them of wrongfully terminating her housing. She rattles off names, documents, email dates. The desperation in her voice is unmistakable, but the judge remains composed. They had every right to ask you to leave, she explains. If you caused a disturbance, they don't have to keep you there. Still, the defendant pushes further. She wants to file a hate crime complaint against Harris County. What started as a bond hearing is now a battlefield of accusations of homelessness, retaliation, and discrimination.
Housing authority have an actual reasons
Now,
to
that's
be there.
not to say you may send them an email. You could send them a fax. I don't know if that would include calling. As far as trespassing is concerned,
I can look into it, Judge. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was wrongfully
they can
evicted.
have an issue if she calls over there. That I don't know.
The
Wrongfully
notice here
terminated.
that is kind of the subject of this incident does give her multiple options: email, mail, fax, phone. And she did send those emails. She
I
was,
don't know now with them telling her they don't want her back. How does
well,
that play
if
into?
they haven't asked for a no contact order and there's no specific person, I would say.
Exactly.
Because she
No response back from my
she still has
emails.
not been, she lives in, she has housing assistance with the Houston Housing Authority judge. And it says her assistance will be terminated on the 30th. So I mean, this is where she lives of this month. So she's still got a couple more days to try to resolve whether she gets to continue, having housing assistance.
The only other thing, it's what's your last name again?
Simmons-Irvin, ERVIN.
You're very passive aggressive in the way you come off.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm a victim of Harris County.
That may be well.
And so are my children screaming.
That may be well right. But in life, you get more with honey than you do with vinegar. And when you go to these people and you act in such a manner that they think you may be threatening them, you're not going to get far.
It's
Listen,
retaliation.
The judge urges her to focus on the now, but her words vanish into noise. The defendant loops back to grievances, jumping between housing, inheritance, and conspiracy. She accuses the government of betrayal. She calls herself a victim of attempted murder, in an attempt to bring reason back. The judge shares a personal story about being pulled over and showing humility, but the woman isn't listening. She talks over the lesson, insisting her rights were stripped away and her family endangered. The emotional spiral is complete. And now, the judge draws a hard line. You're not going back to that property, she says. That's an order, not a discussion.
sometimes if you tuck your tail, you may get a lot more in life. I'll give you an example. I got pulled over months ago. I know I was in the right, but the officer came up and he goes, "Why did you stop? Why didn't you stop at that stop sign?" I know I stopped. May have been for a second or two. I told the officer, "Listen, Ms. Simmons," I told the officer, "Look, I'm sorry. It was an accident. I'm an idiot." He let me go. If I would have said to him, you a-hole, you're wrong. I didn't stop. I did what I was supposed to do." What do you think he would have done? He would have probably given me 5 tickets. But because I said, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. It was stupid for me to do that.
Well, when you're facing reverse psychology
You get more with honey.
and they try to provoke you,
So what? Who cares? Be the bigger person. You're still going to get more. That's life. That's maturity. And when you tuck your tail, sometimes you get so much more, even if you're in the right and they're in the wrong. Who gives? Sometimes that's what you have to do.
I also understand the indirect language it is in the Harris County Handbook dated 2021. And anybody that threatens and harass me in it, I have every right to press charges.
Did you just hear anything that I just said?
I did. I understand. I won't be there, but I know that I had every right to be. So if I'm forced out on the
You
streets,
don't have every right to
it'll be
be.
because of the government.
You don't have every. I am telling you now, and I'm ordering you not to go back to this place.
I'm not going there, but I have every right to speak. So I guess I need to contact.
As one case ends, another begins. In walks Azil Graka charged with violating bond conditions. But this time, it's serious. A loaded firearm, past violent offenses, and a breach of a court-ordered boundary. The judge leans in. "This isn't your first time. You don't get it. No means no." His defense attorney pleads. He was scared. It was self-defense. He owns a trucking business, and the man he fired threatened him. But the judge isn't swayed. Imagine, if that gun had gone off, you'd be facing murder. This isn't about fear. It's about public safety. And now the court must act to protect everyone else from someone who refuses to follow the rules.